All right, guys, we're recording. So welcome to what is officially Coach Basics Hangout number 4, but obviously we have several coaches attending tonight's meeting who are not currently going through Coach Basics because we have Bob Lucido as our guest speaker, and we're going to be covering some really cool stuff with Bob that applies to not only new coaches that are learning the basics of their business, but also existing coaches and where you should be thinking now in terms of your business and what to be doing moving into the future to really ignite your business and grow your income for helping people get healthy and fit. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to actually have Bob speak first because he has to part the meeting by 9 o'clock at the latest. So we'll give him a chance to speak for most of the time. And then I have some stuff that I'll cover towards the end of the meeting, kind of as a wrap to the Coach Basics Hangout. But that doesn't mean Coach Basics is over. There's still about 1 week's worth of posts left that will go into the Coach Basics page. So before I turn it over to Bob, just to give you a little bit of how I've gotten to know Bob over the past 3 years. Bob was primarily the person responsible for why I became a Beachbody coach. And I was personally sponsored by Jill Cement, who kind of put the bug in my ear and said, oh, you got to talk to, my mentor, Bob. He's going to give you a call and he can fill you in on the details. And so he did. And right away, it was kind of like the ideas and the light bulb started going off. And I was like, okay, yeah, sign me up. And from there, he and I have worked together on quite a few initiatives and projects and brainstorming about the bigger picture. And I always love getting a chance to meet with him and work with him and learn from him because this guy has done it as good as anyone else out there. He founded Team Bearcat about 5 years ago. That's our, call it, parent organization. He has a downline of nearly 20,000 coaches. His team volume on a weekly basis is averaging about 500,000. I mean, it's just the numbers are mind-boggling. And yes, that equates to a lot of income. He was inducted into the Millionaire Club at last year's summit. But just a guy that gets how to do this business from the ground up, from starting out on day one to achieving the higher ranks of multi-star diamond. He knows where to go every phase of your business. So with that, Bob, just to kind of give you the intro of what we really want to hear, because I know there's so much you can cover. Throughout Coach Basics, I've hit upon the importance of the compound effect. And, most of you coaches should have already read the compound effect by now, or you're in the process of reading it. But that idea that monumental growth occurs over time through little daily behaviors that incrementally have an effect on your business down the road. And it's these little vital daily behaviors that you do day in and day out that might seem meaningless at the time that all of a sudden have this massive compound effect to where you now have a 6-figure income, if not 7 figures, and it just goes to the stratosphere for you. It doesn't happen overnight, but those little behaviors, Bob, and what I call your golden nuggets, new coaches, existing coaches, what are the things that they should be doing day in and day out to build their success into the future, given what we know now about Team Beachbody? Over to you, buddy.
Wow, well, great intro and great question to start it off with. So first of all, let me say thank you for having me here tonight. And Don, it's always a pleasure to work with you. And it's always an honor to be able to participate with your team. So thanks for having me tonight. As you said, there are so many things that we can talk about. I am a believer, though, in keeping it simple and keeping a focus. So I think that's a great start-off question. I have an answer for that in a sort of a nutshell, but it's not going to be a single line answer. It's a little bit of a compound answer.
Take your time.
Yep. And the reason for that is that, I truly believe that true success in this business is built by really grasping that concept. And what I mean by that is there are a lot of opportunities to come in and run after big prizes. And there's also an ability to come in and learn the mechanics and the basics and the path and the pace that's going to get you there. And one of the things that I really like sharing most is sort of a combination piece, one of which I call the daily disciplines, the things that I think you have to be doing on a daily basis. Some people call it a power hour, and there's many different sort of packaged ways of talking about it. But most of us agree that you need to be, number one, talking to 2 to 5 new people every day. You need to be doing a couple of follow-ups every day. And by every day, I mean 5 or 6 days a week. And you really have to think of that. And one of the things I love about this business is the way that you build the business is very, very similar and kind of runs a parallel path to the way that you build success in a fitness program, and that's what we share with people, right? That's sort of our A1 tool, although it's not the only thing we share. And I'm a believer now that the most important and most powerful thing we share is our business opportunity, but it's built on some kick-ass fitness programs. And they're built on giving people a formula and a system to get them to a level of success by clearly defining the daily steps. So here's the daily nutrition plan. Here's the daily half-hour, 45-minute workout that you're going to do. And you're going to do it 5 or 6 days a week. And that's the agreement that you make, right? When you start that program, you're going to do it 5 or 6 days a week. You're going to eat the 4 or 5 meals a day that the plan asks you to eat. You're going to do the 45-minute workout a day that the plan asks you to do. And when you do that, depending upon the intensity that you bring to it, depending upon, a couple of those individual factors, everybody who actually does it is going to have some level of success. This business is the exact same way. It's got to be 5 or 6 days a week, just like your fitness plan. You can't do it all on the weekend. If you try to do 10 workouts on Saturday and 5 on Sunday and none the rest of the week, think of what kind of condition you're going to be in. It's the same thing with your business. This business is built on consistency, and it really is little things. It's talking to 2 to 5 new people, legitimately new people who you've not talked to before, and doing a real exposure using a third-party tool, getting them a sample, a video, a flyer, something professionally put together, grab it from your back office, use the resources of the billion-dollar company that you're partnered with to help share what it is that you're sharing, and do that with a couple, 2 to 5 new people every day. Then keep a log, and we've got all kinds of ways to do that without getting too detailed. Obviously, you're then going to be following up with those people, and it has to be done on a daily basis. You have to plug in with your team, keep up to speed with the business that you're in, keep up to speed. I like to think of the team pages, since we all work from home. That's our office, though. And you would never get a job anywhere and not check in at the office. Right? You wouldn't sneak down the hall and skip going into the board meeting. You'd get in there and you'd be participating. And this is the same thing. Once you get in and you start participating, you start grabbing the things that are moving the team, and that team momentum starts to move you too. And that's why that's so important. It really then just throw in the 3 vital behaviors that you're hearing over and over and over and over and over again, which is participate yourself, be a participant in what it is that we're sharing, do your own fitness. And it doesn't mean, you got to be 6-pack abs and a finished product. It means live the life that we're offering to people, which is have some consciousness about what you're doing with your health and fitness too, and share with people what it is that you are doing. Be a participant. Engage in your personal development, because this is all about relationships. And so something every single day, again, is moving that along. And invite. and keep inviting. So those are the things. And you know, the truth is, that's really the package. We can talk about a lot of other things, but that little list, if you make sure that you end every day and that little set of whatever it is, 6 to 8 things that I just said, gets done every day, it's going to push you towards the right pace.
Yep.
And you have to understand that this is a marathon. You have to have a 3 to 5 year plan in this business. That's what I was told, 3 to 5 years to $1 million, and then you can earn 7 figures a year. And I was like, what? Okay, that's a pretty amazing plan. You know, I practiced law for 20 years, and I wasn't able to get to 7 figures a year. So I was like, wait a minute, 3 to 5 versus 20? I'm doing the wrong thing here. So I jumped, you know, I'm in, okay? And here I am 5 years later saying, whoa, it works. So just like a marathon, there's a pace. And when you get that pace going and you just continue the pace, you can finish it. You know, and not many of us have run a marathon, but if you run a 5K even, or if you run 1 mile in your life, you're like me and you're not a runner. It's like 2 miles is a big deal, right? So, you know, you get a pace going, but that's the thing. And here's the secret. Here's the pace in this business. It's those simple daily disciplines that I just said, 5 to 6 days a week. And here's how you make sure your business is going at the right pace. It's Success Club 5 to 10 per month. And you're going to hear stories about top 10 coaches who get 150 Success Club points a month or 400 Success Club. Let that bounce off of your head, because that's great if you want to win the Success Club 10 trip. And I'm not telling everybody not to do that. If you can do that, do it. But I like to tell coaches who are coming in and trying to build a business, don't get blown away by that. My record, I average about 7 Success Club points a month for the last 5 years. But I've also been, not every single month in those last 5 years, but the majority, 85, maybe 90% of those months have been at least Success Club 5, sometimes Success Club 10. I think the most I ever got was like 28 or something. But, you know, that's the pace that I run. It means that I've got enough business coming through, that it's a healthy growth, and things are moving in the right direction. Okay, so 5 to 10 Success Club points per month. More if you can. I'm not please don't hear me say do less. If you're doing more, do it. Next is 1 to 3 new personally sponsored coaches per month. And remember, this is a marathon. This is a marathon. This is the pace that I have run. And in only 5 years, I have a 20,000 person downline. And as Don said, $500,000 of business going through my, $500,000 of sales going through my business each week. That's come from running this pace. Success Club 5 to 10 every month, 1 to 3 new coaches each month, and a rank advancement every 90 days. That's why you'll see I'm always running this 90 Days to Diamond program, and I keep doing it every 90 days. And that's because I want my business growing at that pace too. I want a new star in one of my business centers every 90 days. And as you grow your business, Diamond in 90 days should be a goal for you. I'm not saying everybody has to make it in that, but once you get to Diamond, that 90-day cycle is a growth cycle that you want to continue. So if for those of you, and I know there may not be too many, but who have already made it to Diamond in the business, that's how you keep yourself going on the right pace. Then the final piece of that is duplicate it. Make sure that at least one or more, hopefully, other people in your organization learn the pace and run it with you. And in the beginning, it might only be one person. It might be a personally sponsored. It might be not a personally sponsored in your downline who you're going to kind of partner up with. But you got to get used to doing that, because the duplicating it is big. And learning to duplicate it and keep paying it forward, because you don't want to be the guy running the race. You know, it's like, forget the commercial, but I might age myself if I even knew it, if I could put it, but for some of you might remember, I don't know, but there's just like this guy running, and then all of a sudden, like a couple other guys are coming and he's running beside him, and then it keeps growing. And by the end of the commercial, there's like thousands of people all running together. And that's what you want to build in your business. You don't want to be the one that if you, for some reason, come off the treadmill, your business doesn't move anymore. This business is all about duplication and all about locking arm in arm and building a team. So once you get the pace, it's handing it off. You know, again, you can do all kinds of sort of peeling the onion and getting deeper and deeper into discussion. But everything deeper in the discussion in this business is going to be off of that little core that we just talked about. Knowing the 6 or 8 things that you just got to get done every day. And yes, there's nuances in there. Living the 3 vital behaviors and really living them every day. And then understanding this pace, keeping your business running at this pace. All the other nuances that you're going to learn, all the techniques and how to do fit clubs and how to do shake and shares and how to do challenge groups, those are all tools to help you move along the pace and get the movement going that you want in your business. But to really grow, it's understanding that pace, and then that's what builds success. And here it is, and Don's going to add this later, but there's going to be a little ticker going across the bottom of the screen saying, we do not promise any income levels to any person, blah, 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 legal disclosures going on and on. But I have seen this repeat in our team over and over and over and over and over and over and over again. And I can legally share my own numbers. And over 5 years' time, that pace has built this income growth. The first year I was able to earn $50,000 from Team Beachbody. The second year I was able to earn about $110,000 or $115,000. The year after that, it went over $330,000. The year after that, which would have been year 4, right, was about $550,000. And the year after that, the 5th year that we just ended, was over $700,000. This year will be a 7-figure year.
Keep going, Bob. Keep going.
That's the kind of, and as I said, it's not a promise that anybody's going to have those exact numbers, but the pattern of growth, when you grab onto that pace and continue it consistently over time, like Don said, it doesn't sound like much in the beginning, and it doesn't look like much in the beginning. That's the kind of compounding that happens. Mine is just an example, but I can tell you there are many others on our team. Those who have really taken this and embraced it and run with it, their pattern looks shockingly, amazingly similar. So just like Don started the call, I'm doing the same little simple things. The same little simple things in year 1 paid me $50,000. The same little simple things at the same pace 5 years later are going to pay me 7 figures. It's the compounding in between. It's the consistency in between. It's what builds in between because of running the pace and because of staying on it consistently so that it continues to go. Because you have to remember, every time you take your foot off the brake and you miss a month of the pace, you slide back down. So you want to keep that pace. And that's the kind of result that is possible. Boy, I think I said that in the most legally safe way.
Yeah, good. Hey, so Bob, let me throw something out.
Don, that's a lot of information I just threw out. So I'll pause. If you have question or direction, or if anybody has question on any of that, or if you're going to change directions, let me know.
It's awesome because it gives real objective. You're stating objective things for coaches to focus on. And just to throw this out there, like I know there are coaches on the team who have consistently done the right things. They've consistently hit Success Club. And I will say this too, just from my own personal experience, there does play a bit of luck in the business at times, because sometimes you just get a player in your downline who becomes a builder, somebody that just gets the business and runs with it. And you benefit from all that volume regardless of whether or not you sponsored them. So there does play a bit of luck as to, gee, I happen to get this person in my downline and they completely exploded. Like imagine getting a Bob Lucido in your downline, but you didn't put him there. And he does what he's done and you benefit from all of that. But you increase your odds of that happening through the consistency of what Bob's talking about. You increase your odds of that happening through the consistency of doing what Bob is talking about. So when it comes to, Bob, what you were saying, 2 to 5 new contacts per day, are we talking about contacts for either your challenge groups and or the coach opportunity, or maybe even a combination of both? Like when you say 2 to 5 new exposures per day, what exactly are you referring to?
A combination of both. And I think everybody has to know, if you're in this to build a business, then even when you're making contacts for your challenge groups, your challenge group really is a vehicle to find those who would be good coaches. And yes, we want to serve our customers, and I want to help my customers get the best result possible, but that's not your main objective with your challenge groups. And as you grow in the business, another way that you heighten the odds of finding those high octane players is looking for them, and understanding that is part of what we're doing, is looking for them. And that's why I add to the pace the 1 to 3 new PS coaches every month. It used to be part of Success Club. It's not anymore. You can be in Success Club every month and never recruit a new coach. And if you do that, then 8 months down the line, you'll say, oh, I'm in Success Club every single month, but my business didn't grow. And I say, part of the pace is 1 to 3 new coaches per month. And part of the pace is a rank up every 90 days. So that means also understanding, what does that mean? What do I have to do to get a rank up every 90 days? It might mean I got to help a couple other people ranking up. I got to help another couple other people get to emerald, or maybe once I'm a diamond, I got to help other people get to diamond while I'm continuing to recruit. So keeping an eye on that whole picture. But I'm glad you raised that, Don, because there's another piece of what I sort of call the golden page. I believe you could put this whole business on one page. Part of it is what we just talked about, the daily disciplines, the pace, the 3 vital behaviors. And then the other one is something, and I can do hours on this one, but it's find your 5. You're really only looking for 5 people in your organization, and they can be in your as your PS coaches, or like Don said, somebody who's in your downline who's not a PS coach. I would count Don as one of my golden 5. He's not one of my PS coaches, but he's in my downline. And the way who your 5 are, they are 5 people who are going to go 5-star diamond or above on their own. And once you get those 5 in your business, that's it. That's all she wrote. You will have life-changing income success with this business. My business looks the way it looks with 20,000 people in the downline, not because I talked to and recruited 20,000 people. It's because I got a kick-ass 5. In fact, my 5 now is like 10 or 15. I used to say my goal is 5 people, 5-star or above. My team now, Bearcats now, I think we have 12 now who are 5-star and above. And by the end of the year, we might have 20. Those are the ones you're looking to connect with. And those are the ones that you're either trying to help bring into your team or develop within your team. And by that, I mean, you may recruit them. I've recruited some of them. I think 4 of my personally sponsored are 5-star diamonds, but we have 12 on the team, right? So that means that 8 more were not my personally sponsored, but I had a hand in developing them, helping to develop them at least. And that means you're looking for talent within your downline as well as looking for talent to recruit in your business. So again, like I said, I could talk about that for hours, but just write this down. I remember going to one of the very first trainings that I went to. And, and it's funny because here's what I'm sharing with you now, but my light bulb moment happened in January of 2010. I went to one of the original game plan trainings. Carl Deichler was there. We had a corporate contracted trainer who was there. And this is the stuff that I picked up the very first day and then went on and built my business. It was the daily disciplines that I've just shared, and it was Find Your Five. And I still have burnt into my memory this picture of the big chalkboard and the graphic of a big number 5, and leaving there knowing that I was on a quest to connect with 5 more people who would have the same fire that I have and the same connection and commitment to build the business. You're not looking for 20,000. And when you think about it that way, it does sort of change a little bit the way you get out there and share. Yes, I'm looking to fill my challenge groups. Yes, I'm looking to, work with and bring in customers. And yes, I'm looking to be recruiting and bringing in new coaches. And I also always know that I'm really looking out for those gold nuggets who I'm going to really partner up with and build a business. Does that make sense?
Yeah, absolutely. And I know we've got about 15 minutes. And so what I want to do, because we definitely want to have you speak to your knowledge of Beachbody On Demand and how this is really an exciting game changer potentially for the network. But before we go there, does anybody have anything else they want to ask Bob before we turn to Beachbody On Demand? And again, when Bob has to leave at 9 o'clock, but I'm going to kind of revisit some of the points that he made and bring it to a summation. Anything else for Bob before we go to Beachbody On Demand? All right, Bob, go for it, man. So yeah, the Beachbody On Demand, I know some things about it, and I still have questions about it as well. And so I guess I'll just turn it to you. What is your knowledge of it? Who's using it at this point in time, and when is it going out to the entire network, and how does this work, and how is it going to help our business?
All right. Let me start with how it's going to help our business. Yeah. Because also, let me just put in a footnote that how it works right now and how it's going to work over the next 6 months or so till about the end of the year is all beta testing. And everybody should know that as we roll it out, this is as much a live test. There's some things that can't be tweaked and can't be worked until you're in a live test mode. Yeah. And so we tried that in January. The elite coaches got to play around with it this month. Hopefully some of you have been playing around with it, everybody who made Success Club. Then in March, so starting on Monday, it's going to be open to club members. So let me preface everything by saying, keep that in mind and be vocal about your responses. Get in there and work with it. So get the replies back. You'll probably be getting surveys and all that kind of stuff coming out over the next several months. Be active on that stuff. So saying that, I'm super excited about it. I was a coach for a little while before Shakeology came in, not for very long. Changed everything. It was a major game changer because it gave us a consumable. It gave us a product that would go on an auto delivery cycle. It completely changed everything, but from being a group of people who were purely sharing fitness programs, basically one and done. You sell a fitness program to somebody and boom, there's not much more interaction that goes on there, right? Yeah, we had Activit, but that's not a big ticket number. So that was a big deal. This, I think, is bigger. Because this is something that Beachbody Corporate has really been working on for a while now. We've been hearing for the last couple years now that the online office is going to be changing, that the online experience for coaching is going to be changing, and people have been questioning about why do we have this club, and what's the value, and how do we increase it. And when Carl announced the Beachbody on Demand in that Super Saturday video, he talked about that a little bit, saying, well, here's why we didn't get rid of the club. We knew this was coming down the line. This is where the whole focus is shifting to. And this is us getting ahead of the wave. And I'm putting that concept out because another thing that I think is key for us as coaches is to get ahead of the wave. Whenever a new product comes out, or we have a new shift, we want to get out in front of it. This is a major new shift. In 3 to 5 years, when people don't have TV anymore, and infomercial marketing is useless, we will be ahead of the curve in the next phase. And that's why you see us coming out, and you see our branding starting to come through. Coming through other avenues. You see us in Xbox, and you see us in these different avenues. You're going to continue to see that. And this on-demand experience in a few years, when DVDs are obsolete, are already getting there with the demand for this kind of access. You will also be seeing many new changes coming to the club. So how do you get ahead of that curve? Start getting yourself back into the club experience, because Beachbody online, teambeachbody.com, most of us don't go to, right? Except to log into your coach office. You see that blue page for like 30 seconds, and then you're in your online office. You're going to want to now get back used to that. Back in the old days when we first started coaching, that was a whole portal to the Beachbody community. And it kind of faded off as Facebook and social media came in. Now with the on-demand coming back in, you're going to see that club becoming much more interactive. You're going to see it growing into a very, very live, vibrant resource, and really the center for the way that we will interact with customers. So that's that side of it, and that's kind of the philosophical side of it. The sort of nuts and bolts is, think of what happened to like Blockbuster Video when Netflix came in. And Netflix idea, by replacing the hard copy DVD that people were sharing, actually turned into more revenue coming from each individual customer, because instead of those single interactions, you've got a subscription system and then a pay-by-use system. And ours will look really similar to that. Not exactly like that, but similar to that. And what you're seeing right now, and this will only be for a limited time, club members are going to get a starter library. You're going to get P90X, the whole P90X series, and Insanity, and whichever few other ones are in there to start people off. And then it will be a buy as you use or buy to use system that we as coaches will earn commissions off of. And again, here's the exciting piece. Having seen the way the Shakeology continual sale changed everything, so volume-wise, I believe anyways, that the video program continual sale will do the same kind of thing for volume. A person who buys in P90X and does it once is one thing, but a person who comes in and does it over and over and over again, or 3 months from now wants to do it again, and has this continual interaction with your office, has the potential to be incredible in terms of volume explosion. So it's going to create this whole new experience and this whole new connection between us as coaches and our customers. Not to mention the potential down the line as this thing grows and becomes more interactive with the online experience. So, you know, I know I didn't share a lot of specifics. If you have specific questions, Don, go ahead and shoot them out. But that's kind of the why I'm excited about it.
Okay, so for example, let's say I engage in a customer and they're technologically savvy and they're excited about this whole on-demand opportunity. They can become my club customer, correct? Like my club member. And they would pay the subscription fee, call it the monthly fee or the quarterly fee, whatever the billing's going to be, to have access to those videos via streaming. Is that correct? Okay. And so when they talk about the concept of a Beachbody on-demand challenge pack, is that they're getting the on-demand video streaming plus their Shakeology on Home Direct? Is that correct?
Correct, right. And, you know, in the beginning, somebody gets club. Let's say somebody gets club right now from you. You know, we can even now have a club Shakeology challenge pack. They're just going to get those starter ones. But somebody's also going to be able to buy from you, and I don't know how soon, and people are already asking how immediate this is going to happen, and they're promising pretty quick. But let's say I want to buy a 21-day Fix Extreme challenge pack, and I want the streaming version.
I see.
We're going to be able to do that. And so the person's going to get the regular club, they're going to get the Shakeology, and the price is also going to include whatever that additional pay-per-view style piece is for the program. And I don't know the exact specifics to break it down, but it's similar, like, you know, if you're on Hulu or Netflix or something and you rent a movie tonight, you get like 24 hours to watch it or something, right? This will have some kind of similar thing to it, where you'll have maybe 30 days or something. And, you know, if you're one of the people who bought your thing and you didn't start your program until 15 days later, well, when your 30 days are up, you might have to buy another 30. You know, so for the person who buys a DVD package from you and lets it sit for 3 months and then decides they need to do it, it's going to have to re-up it.
So is it
a commission off of each of those?
Okay, so is it re-upping as they want to use it, or is it like, well, I guess for lack of a better analogy, with a gym membership, somebody buys a gym membership but they don't use it, but they're still paying their monthly gym membership. And the health club is collecting their revenue regardless of whether or not they're using it. Is this going to be the same concept, or only when they're using it are they paying?
No, it's going to be a similar, my understanding is it's going to be a similar, like you buy it for a block. So it's not you log in and you're going to bill me for the 30 seconds that I'm online. It's going to be like when I rent a Netflix movie tonight and I only get 24 hours. And if I don't watch it, oops, I got to pay $4.99 again tomorrow because I need to unlock it for 24 hours again. Okay. So if I bought if I bought the 60-day program and it unlocked a window, but I want to unlock it for another window, sure, there's a fee associated with that.
Understood. Okay.
And so it'll be the individual programs. And even the specifics of how they're going to bill all of that, that's even still all in the works, actually.
Understood.
That's why I say, right? It's a beta program. It's really a beta program. Okay. Here's the other cool thing is, as the P&P stands right now, coaches get half of club membership. Not 25%, not 35%, 50%. So at least in the beginning, this is a big opportunity for us as coaches to really lock in. And I think it's also a really, really big boost for helping to share, because from the consumer side, the same reason why everybody left Blockbuster, it's like Netflix sounded cheaper, right? It's like, oh, well, I don't have to buy the $100 program. I can buy the $39 club membership and pay $10 a week for it, you know, for P90X or however they're going to break that down. But that's how it's going to look like. It's going to be those time things.
Understood. That's really amazing.
Hello? Sorry, guys. Can you hold just for 1 second? I'm just wrapping up another call, okay? Okay, thanks.
Hey, bud.
There you go. There's my 9 o'clock.
There you go. There you go. You're good. You're good to go, and you've been great. And always appreciate you having you speak, man. I look forward to seeing you next week at our meeting too.
You bet. Thank you. Hope it was helpful. And again, if you guys have follow-up questions, we can follow up on Facebook, or I can come join you guys again sometime. Take care.
Yeah, sure. Thanks, Bob. Take care, buddy. Okay. I get so excited when you just see the potential of what can be done with this business. And I just want to go back to what I was saying before. What Bob has achieved in 5 years is remarkable. And I know for myself, I'm 3 years in the business right now. I'm really happy with where I'm at, and I see that future getting there. I don't think it's going to be in 5 years, but maybe 6 or 7. And everybody's on their different pace. But the whole point that he's making, guys, is that you have to be consistent with the contacts every day. That's the way you're going to grow your business. And when you're hitting Success Club month in and month out, it's giving you that feeder system of more people to become coaches. And so I want to turn to this concept of signing up more coaches, because it's really the thing that some coaches struggle with. And I'm going to share with you what I've used recently for my, call it 30-second spiel when somebody asks me about Beachbody. And this happened to me the other day. It was this past weekend. I was in my condominium gym. So it's like a shared gym for all the tenants of this condo complex. So I go in there with my laptop, and I always put it in this spot, and I was doing an Insanity Max 30. So, there's people doing their thing on the equipment. Nobody is working out in a way that looks like they're expending any energy. They're doing a set on a piece of equipment, and they're sitting there for 3 minutes, and they're doing another set, and they're sitting there for 3 minutes. Meanwhile, I'm completely breathless after 10 minutes of doing Insanity Max 30. I'm doubled over, trying to catch my breath. So a guy came over to me, and he just said, wow, that looks like one heck of a workout. What is that? And I said, oh, this is the Insanity Max 30 program from Beachbody. He says, you've been doing it for a while. I said, well, not this particular program, but I've been doing their programs for a while. And yes, it's helped tremendously with my fitness and my strength. I feel great. I love it. I said, what do you do? And he says, I come in and do some of the equipment, but I think I need something more. I said, well, I would love to help you. And I actually think not only can I help you with your fitness, but you might be interested in doing what I do for part of my living. I just went for it with this guy. He was a bit older, and he says, well, what do you do? And I said, well, as a Beachbody coach, I get rewarded financially for improving my health and fitness and helping others do the same. That was my spiel. That was it. I said, as a Beachbody coach, I get rewarded financially for improving my own health and fitness and helping others do the same. And he says, wow, so you get in shape? I said, yeah, part of my job with this business that I own is I get in shape. I'm on a journey to get in shape using these programs. And I'm financially compensated when not only I'm getting in shape, but I'm helping others do the same. Personally and professionally, it's the best thing I've ever come upon. There's no certifications required. You don't need any qualifications. And it doesn't have to replace your existing job. You do it on the side. So he was like, he'd give me his card. He's like, I need to learn more about this. So to have that 30-second spiel in a way that's not trying to sell Shakeology and talk about, well, we sell products to people, that sounds like a product distributor. And when you start regurgitating stuff along product distribution, that's when you get that, oh, wait, is this a pyramid thing? And this is about getting healthy and fit. Not only yourself, but also helping others around you do the same. And so when you live the life and people see you live the life, talking about the coach opportunity is a very easy thing to do. So, grab on to language like that. Use that language that I just said if you want to just talk to people, and don't be afraid of it. Who doesn't want to be healthy and fit? So, one new coach a month, it's not hard to do. It's really not. But once you have that new coach, and some of you have been signing up coaches like crazy lately, and I will call out Allison. Allison's here on the call, and she's signed up like 13, 14 coaches in the past 6 weeks. It's just amazing. And I've spoken to her recently about what she's doing. How does she do that? Well, for her, it's whenever she's sharing the products that are working for her, when she's sharing that information with people who are asking her, wow, you look great, you've lost weight, what are you doing? Oh my gosh, this Shakeology drink. And when she shows them the value of Shakeology, it's just a no-brainer for her that they should become a coach. Well, you're going to drink the Shakeology, so you might as well get it at a discount like me. Become a discount buyer. It doesn't make sense to pay full retail for it. I mean, she's going down that path right away. And signing up discount buyer coaches, there's nothing wrong with that. It's a good way to start building your foundation. And you might get people who say, well, I don't want to work the business. No problem. A lot of people come in saying they don't want to work the business, but when they start fueling their bodies with Shakeology and using the exercise programs at a discount, seeing and feeling much better, well, people around them take note of that and they say, what are you doing? You look great. You've lost weight. Your energy's improved. And they just start speaking from the heart. I'm using these products, and I just can't believe what it's doing for me. They become a product of the product. Then they start thinking about, well, maybe I should start working this business. But your challenge groups, that's your close, and all the people that you talk to who are asking you, what do you do to stay in shape? You know, do you go to the gym? Like me personally, yeah, I go to the gym, but you know what? I also work out at home using these amazing programs. As a matter of fact, I'd love to hook you up and put you in my support group. I run a live online support group. It's a private group that I run on Facebook. I'd love to invite you in and set up a time where I could talk to you more on the phone. If not now, we'll set up a time to talk more on the phone about the program or the solution that's going to best fit your needs. What time works best for you? Let's connect. And then I actually have a questionnaire. I'll share the questionnaire that I've created recently to learn about people. It's just a quick questionnaire with some things that they click off, and it gives me an understanding of where they're at in their fitness, their exercise history, what their goals are moving into the future, whether or not they have any physical restrictions. It paints a picture for me to then go, this is the program I'm going to suggest for you. And you just invite them to your support group, welcome them to your team, and help them get results with your daily motivation posts. So I know I've said a lot there, and hopefully it's been helpful. Let me just go down real quick with the notes that I had. Here's another thing I wanted to share. What time is it? 9:06, okay. So I've done this at times. This business, as far as I'm concerned, is all about giving selflessly, and you just keep giving selflessly. You know, don't come across like you're trying to sell something to someone. You are trying to help people. And you have to really believe that in your heart, that these programs are that good for people. They are. And so I've had times when I've been talking to somebody about the value of Shakeology and the fact that I know it's going to help them with weight loss or energy or whatever their challenges might be when it comes to nutrition. It's like, this is the highest quality meal replacement you could consume on a daily basis, this daily dose of nutrition. And I cover the fact that it's $4.33. You know, we'll get you on our Home Direct program. There's no shipping, or it's $2 shipping. Serving is $4.33 a day. So I've had the people who have just been so financially, you know, their budgets are so tight that they just go, man, this $129.95 is just, I can't swing it. Is there anything we can do? And I have said, on occasion, I'm not saying do this every time, but I've said to people, look, you know what? As a Beachbody coach, yes, you're buying this through me, and I'm getting a commission for it. But I'm so confident that it's going to help you, and I understand your budget's tight. I'd like you to just let me reimburse you my commission. Like, it's not about the money. I want you to get on this. You know, if my commission on this is $30, and I've given $30 and said, here's my commission. Now buy it. And you're getting it for my coach price of $97 and change. So that has worked, and I've gotten people to drink it. And when I've done that, and I've said to them, look, I'm willing to do this. However, you have to promise me that you're going to drink this every day for 21 days. And after 3 weeks, we're going to connect again. You know, we're going to talk during this 3 weeks. But at the 21-day mark, it's time to make a decision. Either continue drinking it as a customer, or enjoy that discount I just gave you and become a discount buyer for it. And now you've got somebody who hits that 21-day mark, and hopefully they're feeling it enough to go, I don't want to stop drinking this. This is great. Sign me up. Either as a coach, hopefully as a coach, discount buyer coach, or a customer. So I've gone down that path of helping somebody out who can't afford the 129. Here's $30. Let them drink it and see the value in it. And then obviously the other thing you can fall back on is there's a 30-day bottom of the bag money back guarantee. If you don't want to give your commission, I get that. So you just say, look, you get your money back if you're not feeling any of the changes. But give selflessly, just help people and give whatever you can to help them, and it'll come back to you tenfold. Grab a success partner. If you don't have a success partner that you're currently working with, and I know some of you on the Coach Basics page posted, I would like a success partner. It doesn't have to be somebody that's in your downline, just somebody from the organization that it's an accountability partner. You say you're going to do something on a daily or a weekly basis, you each write down your goals and you hold each other accountable to them. It's a great way to feed ideas off of each other. You and your accountability partner could team up to do a challenge group together. There's all kinds of things you can do with an accountability partner or a success partner. The final point I wanted to get into is this concept of branding yourself. Now, we all know that we're trying to get people healthy and fit, and the population needs it. 2/3 of Americans are overweight or obese. And, that with the obesity comes all the diseases, and there's a world of people out there that need help. But one of the most powerful things you can do, depending on your personal situation, is to brand yourself in a way that you are focusing on, call it, target niche markets. Don't throw the net out to the entire world and say, hey, I'm a health and fitness coach. Let me help you get healthy and fit. You're basically talking to people that are from teenagers on up to senior citizens, males and females, from obesity to skinny, and you're just covering the whole population. There's nothing wrong with that. But what can be really powerful is if you yourself personally come from a specific type of demographic, or a specific type of health concern that you've overcome, or a specific amount of weight that you've lost, or maybe you're a working mom who's lost baby fat. All these different things that are for different audiences. Brand yourself. And an example of this has just happened recently for my wife, Tammy, my wife, has been in this business since I signed up. I signed her up because I knew that this could become something. And she has barely worked this business at all. I built her to diamond. She works in the financial world in New York City. Well, 2.5, 3 months ago, Tammy found out she was autoimmune. She went to a specialist in New York City. She's got a hypothyroid. All these things. And it was like the light bulb went off for her to go, oh my gosh, you know what? I'm going to put myself through this intense program, and I'm going to help people who are hypothyroid or autoimmune. And so she's created this like page on Facebook, and she, in the past 3 weeks, has gotten to almost 2,000 likes for this how to beat hypothyroidism through nutrition and exercise. And so she's identified her target audience to the point where it's just people coming out of the woodwork because she ran a little ad for her like page on Facebook. And so when you think about creating a like page for yourself, maybe come up with something specific that resonates with you and the people that you would like to help. I'm not saying that has to be the case, but it can be really powerful when you do brand yourself in a way. And that's what Tammy's now doing. And her ultimate goal is that she's going to get out of this financial world of New York and leave the corporate life and find her time and financial freedom through Beachbody. She's kind of like made the turn, and it was really cool to see that happen. So I just wanted to share that with you. It's the concept of branding yourself and going after specific audiences can be really powerful. All right. Over to you. It's been a great 4 weeks of Hangouts, and I know some of you weren't part of Coach Basics, but that's all right. We've had a really good group, and the posts will continue. Does anybody have any questions or anything they want to comment on or add? I mean, Shannon's on here, Diamond Coach, Ellen, is going to be back to Diamond soon. Andrew's been at Diamond. We've got some real players that are on here. Anything else that you want to add or comment or ask about? Go for it. Nobody's going to raise their hand. Oh, my gosh. Can't believe it. All right. Well, then if there's nothing else, hopefully you guys are a bit inspired. I know I'm psyched about Beachbody On Demand. It's cool to be part of this because just think where it might be, like Bob says, 3, 4, 5 years from now when everything is digital and it's not only here in the US and Canada, but it's around the world. You know, we're all sitting at the top of this thing with respect to where it's going to be in the next several years. So work your business every day. Little incremental things are going to add up to great things down the road. All right, guys? All right. We did it. 1 hour. Thanks so much for being here tonight. I hope that was helpful, and we'll talk to you really, really soon. All right. Take care. Have a good night. I'll put the recording up on the page too. We'll see you.